Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Joe Rhodes, and today I'm going to be doing a lesson video for Someone You Loved. I was thinking about what song I should do next, and this was the #1 top song on Ultimate Guitar Tabs. So I thought that I would do a lesson video for it and show you how it's played. It's actually a relatively easy song to play on guitar. There's only 5 chords that we're going to be learning today. And we have our capo on the 1st fret of our guitar. If you don't have a capo, it's okay, you can still learn this song. Just don't put it on there and you'll be playing all your chords half a step lower than I'm playing the chords. So when I make a C chord shape, technically be playing a C sharp. You can follow along, you'll just be playing a regular C, so it will sound a little bit different. You can learn the song without a capo, go out, buy yourself one later on, put it on there, play it the exact same way, except then you'll just be half a step higher. But getting right into it, we're going to start with the first verse, of course. Now all the verses and all the choruses are played exactly the same way with the same 4 chords. So the first chord we're going to learn is C, which I'll have right here. Now C is going to start with our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of our A string. And remember, with our capo on the 1st fret, we're now counting as if our 2nd fret is our new 1st fret. So our 3rd fret is going to be right here, relative to our capo. Then we're going to start with our 2nd fret on the D string, and then we're going to have an open G string, 1st fret B, and then open high E string. And that'll give us a C chord. Now the 2nd chord we're going to learn, going in order in which we play them, is going to be a G chord, right? So G has us starting with our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of our low E string, and then our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of our A string. Then our D, G, and B string are all going to be open. Then we'll have our 4th finger, or our 3rd, it's really up to you. I personally use my 4th, playing the 3rd fret of the high E string. And that should give us a G chord that sounds like this. Alright, so our next chord that we're going to learn is A minor. Like that. A minor is going to have an open A string, our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, the 2nd fret of our G string, 1st finger, 1st fret B string, and then an open high E. And once again, it should sound like this. Alright, now we're going to have an F. Now, in the original song, the F is lower than the rest of the chords. At least the bass note that the piano goes to in the left hand goes to a lower F than the rest of the bass chords it's been playing. So to pull this off on guitar, we would normally be playing a barred F, like this. That would be the way to play it that matches most closely to the original song. And that is an option. You can do that. Feel free. Just like I said, a barred F. But in the interest of making this song easier to play for beginners who are wanting to learn this song that aren't necessarily playing bar chords yet, we're going to play an F that's higher than the rest of the chords right here. Like that. So, in order to play this F, what we're going to do is put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of our D string, our 2nd finger of the 2nd fret of our G string, and now our 1st finger is going to be covering 2 strings at once. At least this is the way I play it. So our 1st finger is going to be flatter than the rest of our fingers, and it's going to be covering the 1st fret of both the E and the B string. Like that. And when we put all that together, it should sound like this. So another interesting thing with F, something that I see a lot of people leaving out in their lessons and their chord charts about this song, is that the F actually turns into an F sus2, or F sustained 2nd, right before changing back to the C. So that technically gives us 6 chords, but the reason I didn't count it in the beginning is twofold. For one, you don't have to do it. You don't have to change to the F sus2 if you don't want to. It is optional, but the original song does do this. The second reason I didn't count it when I said 5 chords for the whole song is because the change is so easy. It's not even like you're moving to a whole new chord. all you're going to do to go from playing our F to playing F sus2 is you're going to take your second finger and take it off the string. And that's it. So now you'll have an open G string. And that's all you have to do to go from playing our F major to our F sus2. And it'll sound like this. It's a very small, subtle change that a lot of people miss, but it's going to make your song more well-rounded. It's a nice passing chord to get us back to our C. You know, when we're playing it with the rest of the chords, we'll have this kind of walk going on that's mixed in with the rest of our chords. So in context with the rest of the song, starting on F and then working to C, it'll sound like this. Real subtle. Now that we have all 4 of our chords that we need for the verse and the chorus, let's talk about our picking pattern. Now, I'm using my fingers to pick this, but you can use a guitar pick. That's no problem. Whichever tone and whichever method you prefer, it's up to you. Now, the picking pattern is going to stay the same throughout the whole song. Even when we get to the bridge and introduce our last chord, we're still going to have the same picking pattern. Now, all it's going to be is us hitting 1 string and then 2 strings, like that. So for our C chord, we're going to be hitting the A string and then the B and G string, like this. And we're going to do that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. After doing that 4 times, we're going to switch to our G chord. Now, with our G chord, we're going to hit our new bass note, which will be on the E string, the low E. But we're still going to keep hitting the B and the G string. Just like that. Now we're going to switch to A minor. And when we switch to A minor, we're back to hitting our A string, which in this case is open, and our B and G string. Again, 4 times, just like every chord. Now we're going to go to our F. And when we go to F, our bass string has moved down to the D string. So we'll be hitting the D, and then we'll be hitting the B and G string together. So for all 4 of our chords, we're picking the B and G string together. The only thing that changes is the string that our bass note is on. So now with F, we're going to pick F 3 times, like this. All right, that was 3. And now for the 4th time, I'm going to move to my F sus2, which if you remember is just us taking our second finger off of the G string, like that. So again, F, and then F sus2, and then we're moving back to C, and the whole thing starts over. So once you have all of that down, now you're ready to move all the way to the bridge. So the first verse, the first pre-chorus and chorus, however you're splitting it up, all of that is exactly the same picking and chord progression all the way up into the bridge. Now when we get to the bridge, we're going to continue that exact same picking pattern, but we're going to introduce our last chord. And it's going to be a D minor. D minor, which is showing up right here. So D minor is going to consist of us having an open D string, our second finger on the 2nd fret of our G string, our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of our B string, and now our 1st finger on the 1st fret of our high E string, just like that. And when you get all that, it should sound like this. Now we're going to use the same picking pattern that we used for F to play D minor. So that means we're going to be picking the open D string and then the G and B together, like that. Now the chord progression for our bridge is a little bit different than the rest of the verse. Not just because we have a new D minor, but because we're going to go D minor for 4, and then we're going to go to A minor for 4, now to G for 6. So we're going to play our G chord for 6, and then back to A minor for just 2. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to A minor, 1, 2, and then it starts over with D minor for 4, A minor for 4, G for 4, and then we're back to our chorus. So we work the extra 4 measures in the middle of the bridge. So D, A minor, then G, then G again for just half a measure, and A minor for half a measure. So A minor becomes a passing chord. I'll play it for you one more time. So, once you play that, that's all of the bridge, you're back to the chorus. And with our very last chorus, it starts off with us just single strumming or single picking the chords for a few measures, right? It'll be... And then it'll come back in with our regular picking pattern that we've already learned. And then at the end of the song, it'll go back to just single picking or single plucking, if you will, our chords. And then the song is over. So that's it. You've learned the whole song now. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to. You can pause the video whenever you'd like. And you can even go up to settings in the video settings at the top right-hand corner of your screen or bottom left, depending on what version you're using. And you can go to video playback, and you can actually slow down the whole video and rewatch any part you'd like slower if you need to, and if you want to play along with me, and then work your speed up. If you have any questions, guys, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you've made it this far, let me know how you did and if you like the song and what kind of luck you're having with it in the comments below. I'll be doing more lesson videos like this in the future. My next one is going to be Selena Gomez, Lose You to Love You. So if you want to see that, click subscribe, or just click subscribe and wait for something else to come out. I also do covers. I do some gear tests. Just look around on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure you'll find something that you like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have fun playing.